Hi everybody, welcome to School of Scarlet. Today I have another message. So today's message is again around freedom. We're going deeper and deeper with freedom. So we're going to be accessing the freedom of time, and the freedom of time to choose whatever you want to do with your time and day. So today's intuitive message came through and I'm going to share that here with you in just a moment. But if you are new here, I want to welcome you to my channel. I want to welcome you to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and come back for my daily messages. It's no coincidence that you're here today. You're on the path to freedom. You have activated the freedom timeline, so that is why you are here and you're experiencing more and more freedom in your life. So today I woke up not really knowing what I would do today. That's kind of like what my days are usually like. I used to be a very rigid planner. I used to have planners. I don't even remember the brand names of them, but I used to be really into them. I would get like high-end, printed out, real life planners. And then I'd also have my Outlook calendar. I would have like notifications, all kinds of stuff to help me plan. And about, I don't know, maybe 6 years ago when I had my realization, all of that went out the window. Time and calendars, planning, all of that stuff just kind of faded away from me. It wasn't important anymore to plan anything out. Each day brought something new. So today came through really strong that way because I think the message today is to really talk about this. So I woke up really feeling as though there was no plan, but in a very deep sense. Like I was just going to go out and play in wildflowers or something and just discover if I found a ladybug or, it was like a really childlike feeling this morning. So I actually just went outside and it was kind of like a little bit sunny and I was just sitting on my kind of like this little patio area that I have. The sun was just shining on me. Nothing was happening. But suddenly I began to kind of like walk around and look at different things. And the next thing that came to my mind was to write a book. Now, this is a book that I've been wanting to write and I have been actually working on, but I went ahead and usually I work on these things like in the office or I have like specific spots that I go do this at. But something kind of led me to write the book while I'm walking outside. I know it's really, really random, but as I was walking, I was writing this book. So I went ahead and wrote, I don't know, like 8 chapters today, which is a huge amount for how much I usually write per day. So you never know what's going to arise in your day, what's going to happen. And so a lot of times we think that when we don't plan out our days or when we don't have like goals or to-do lists to achieve, that nothing's going to get done. But I want to tell you that that is the opposite, because what we're really called to do from our highest self is to have joy, to have like creativity and natural joy that arises in our day. Just like it did for me, just being out in the sunshine, just walking around, suddenly the inspiration arose for that. That wasn't something I was planning today. It wasn't something I'm planning for tomorrow or the next day. It's just something that I had that arose more and more in kind of like this energetic burst of creativity at that time. So I find that for myself, I am led by intuition. I'm not led by calendars. I'm not led by what people tell me to do or anything like that. So today you are free. You are free to plan your days how you want. You don't have to plan anything it's set in stone. I encourage you to wake up each day kind of like this childlike nature of, if you can remember back to being a child, it's like you wake up and you don't know what you're going to play today, who's going to be outside, what's going to really happen today. You wake up really like a blank slate. And what I'm seeing here is like an artist and having a like white canvas. If any of you are painters, if this is resonating, give me a thumbs up. So when you paint a painting, you have a white canvas and you get your paints out and you begin to, do some brush strokes and maybe start painting something. Maybe suddenly you get a burst of some creativity of something that you want to paint. And so you start to paint that, or maybe you simply start painting and then the painting develops. But there is no one behind your shoulder like telling you how to paint. You have total freedom of creativity, of joy, of doing whatever you want. So that is what is really called for us to do. My door just opened here on my office. It kind of spooked me. So when we're in this state of being, it's very childlike. It's very natural. We don't have to effort for it. We don't have to achieve anything or get it or whatever. So that's what this is about. It's about really stepping back and allowing life to happen, intuition to lead us, and not, these external requirements, or whatever we've put on ourselves, thinking that we have to achieve this or that all day long, or that we have to stay busy all day long, or that it has to be stressful. Many of us have become conditioned to staying busy all day long. I can remember a friend growing up, her parents, even though it was a weekend and they maybe had nothing planned to do, they would go wake them up at 5 in the morning. They would wake up the kids and make sure that they were up and that they would find something to do. They couldn't rest. They couldn't just let the day progress how they wanted. Most of the times, if they had nothing to do, the parents would schedule them days to go cut lawns and stuff like that. Like, they would have jobs for them already set up if nothing was available for them to do. We are not meant to live that way. That is a very high stress kind of way to live, and our nervous system isn't meant for that. That's living like in fight or flight at all times, thinking that we have to get up and do things even when there's nothing to do. You choose what to do. So when I had my realization years ago, I really had the feeling of there's nothing to do. So I would wake up and feel as if there's nothing to do. Like, I don't have to check in at work. I don't have to make dinner today. I don't have to take care of anyone today. I really had the total freedom to just be. And that's the realization that I had at that time, that there's nothing to do. But even though there was nothing to do, that's the feeling that I had, the day would be full of beautiful and exciting things. And the book that I'm writing today, that I was writing earlier, was about that time period. It's not a spiritual book. It's a book about life. And most of the beautiful experiences that I'm writing about in that book all occurred during that time, during the time that I wasn't pressured to do anything specific. Arrive at this place at this time, meet with this person at that time. I wasn't planning myself out like this, line of chores and things I had to do. I was naturally arising, or allowing the day to let me see what would arise in that day. And whatever would arise, believe it or not, was magical. It was like out of this world. And so sometimes we also think that we're here on this earth to make money. So all day long we're hustling, trying to see how do we make money. You weren't created to be here on this earth to make money. At your highest self, like I mentioned before, you're here to have joy, creativity, explore that. If it is a bunch of wildflowers outside, to go explore that. But we're so scared that if we let go of the control that we think that we have over making money, that it won't arise for us. Now, during that time that I'm telling you that I really felt as though there's nothing to do, and I didn't pressure myself to do absolutely anything, including work. I was provided for. There was not a time during that whole time that I didn't have my bills paid, that I didn't have money for the extra things that I needed in my life. I actually took more trips during that time. I actually did more in that time than I ever had before. I had more abundance coming in when I wasn't doing anything. So just think about that. How is that possible? It is. It is very possible. So what I'm seeing here right now for you is like a vision of somebody floating on water. When we first begin to float on water, like let's say on our back, we are tense. We think, are we really going to float? And we begin to kind of like sink because we're not trusting that we can actually float. And so we flounder a little bit. I'm seeing like a picture or an image of my daughter when I showed her how to float in the pool that we had. And so I'm holding her, underneath, and I'm allowing her to float. I'm like, I'm going to take my hands off. And she begins to, fluster and like not really float. And I tell her, just relax, relax. And as I'm holding her, I begin to feel the relaxation and I pull away. When I pull away, she's floating. So it's just like you. When you are ready to let go of all of this stress, of I'm going to have to do this today, I'm going to fill my day with all of these things, I'm going to attain this amount of money, do this thing. When we let go of that control, we actually realize that we're already supported and we didn't have to effort and stress and do all of those things. You're already floating. And even when you take away that control, those hands underneath, you're supported and you can float and you will float, and you'll float better than you have been the more that you do it. So you're being called today to align to your intuition. Begin to live from that. Begin to set yourself free in the aspects of time and the things that you are having to do every day. You don't have to do anything. You can choose what you choose to do that day. And you can wake up like a child in the morning and see what arises for you. I know it might sound crazy to people that have been, overscheduled and things like that. I used to be that person. So I know there is a huge difference. It almost feels like you're a bum, like you're not worthy of anything anymore. It's like you've changed into something else, but you're not a bum. And when you begin to realize is when you live from that space, you create more. You accomplish more. You're more clear minded. You are less frazzled. You are more in your creativity and you're having more fun. And so when people ask you, what do you do for work? Your work sounds like play. You can't even people don't even understand how, for example, taking a bath with rose petals is your work. That is your work. Playing outside with your dog is your work. That is your work. Why? Because that's when your intuitive faculties come on board and you begin to have all the downloads and things that'll turn into whatever it is that you're creating. So people won't understand that all of that is your work. But you see, just like for a child, I used to love Maria Montessori. She says that the child's play is their work. And it is true even for us as adults. Our play is our work. When we play, that's when we learn. That's when we develop. That's when we expand. We have creativity and joy. We're not meant to just be here on this earth to slave ourselves to death and just gain money and acquire things and not have experiences that are meaningful to us. We're here to have meaningful experiences. Be in our joy, be in our creativity, create, be creators in this universe. That is what we're meant to do. So I hope that this video will activate something within you to free you of time. So if you are aligning to this now, I want you to declare it down below in the comment section. Declare, I am free of time, or just comment time down below. Comment whatever is arising for you in your intuition right now down below. When you confirm it, when you declare it, it becomes real in this reality. That is how we put things into reality. It starts in our mind, our capital M mind. We declare it, we put it out into the universe, and it manifests. So I hope that today you will take your time and just let it float, just like you were floating like that, and let the hands be released and see how you're supported, to play in whatever you want to do today. So have fun, be, a child today. Have fun out there. Allow time to be yours and to just be what it is. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, go ahead and comment down below, give me a like, support this channel. I really appreciate all of you. I love you all, and I will catch you on our next message.